Hello everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of An American in Thailand, airing every Friday. This program is broadcast to you from Ratchamakon, University of Technology, Peranakan, and I will be bringing it to you in two parts. For the first part, I will introduce a certain topic about being an American here living in Thailand. Could be about food, travel, culture, lifestyle, anything we want to talk about. We'll then take a break, and in the second part of the program, we will get into examples and specifics of whatever the topic is for today. All right, let's get to the program. Welcome everyone, my name is Gary Gray, and I am your host for An American in Thailand. I'm an English teacher here at Ratchamakon University of Technology, Peranakan, and I've been here for about 9 years. Obviously, I am American. Now, just to be clear, some people from other parts of America get annoyed when we call ourselves American or say that we're from America, but the USA has no other term for their nationality. That's what we're called, Americans, and since we're called Americans, sometimes we say we're from America. So, please don't get offended. Sometimes you'll hear a Canadian get offended when someone from the US says they're from America, because they're technically from America as well. They're from North America. So they are also Americans. So are people from Mexico. Everyone from South America is also American, technically, right? Because they're from parts of South America. But that's the term we have, because it's the United States of America. That's the name of our country. So we are Americans. So don't anyone get offended when people from the US call themselves Americans. So I am from the US. All right, and I've been here about 9 years, like I said. So I have a pretty good idea of Thai culture. Still learning things new every day. I've commented on a few of those things in recent episodes, things that I did not realize. For example, we were talking about current events. This is being recorded in 2026. Gas prices are really high. I was wondering why gas prices didn't go up that much here in Thailand yet, and what I found out was that gas prices are subsidized here in Thailand. I did not know that. Doesn't surprise me, because I know pharmaceuticals also are. They're either subsidized or they have price caps, one or the other. Those two things kind of work together. I did not know that gas prices are subsidized or have caps here in Thailand. All right, so we've done a lot of serious topics like that lately. So we're going to do something a little bit more lighthearted today. We're going to talk about movies. Specifically, we're going to talk about horror movies. Ooh, scary movies. We've actually done this before in an episode, but this is going to be a little different. In the previous episode, we talked mostly about what the differences are between Thai and Western horror movies, like what the audiences like to see in a horror movie. What I want to do today is more in line with giving you some recommendations for some American horror movies that you might like here in Thai culture. American horror movies that might fit in with kind of what the Thai people like when they go to see a scary movie. Why? Why do I want to do that? Well, we're in Thailand. We're doing this program in English. The point is to help you with your English. So I hope you listen to this program to expose yourself to more English language. So why not also expose yourself to more English language by going to see, or in this case you probably stream, you'll have to find them online because these are going to be older movies. Go online, find some American movies to watch in English. And if you need to help you understand them, you can put the Thai subtitles on. Or if you really want to get ambitious, you can put the English subtitles on just to help you follow along. That's fine. But I want you to have more exposure to the English language. So I'm going to recommend to you some English language movies that might fit the Thai style of horror. All right. So first of all, here in the first half of our program, we're going to recap what the differences are between Thai and American horror movies. And I should say there's plenty of overlap. There are plenty of Thai horror movies that kind of go outside of what is the traditional type that Thai people might like. There's also plenty of American horror movies because there's a lot more movies made in America. They cover a lot wider range. And so there's plenty of those that might sort of fit in with what a Thai audience might like. So I'm not saying that these are exclusive. In fact, if they were, we wouldn't be able to do this episode. I wouldn't be able to give you American movies that I would recommend you watch for a Thai person. I wouldn't be able to do that if there was no overlap. So there is plenty of overlap. I don't want to make it sound like they're just totally different. No, they're not. So let's explain the differences here. Then in the second half, I'll give you the recommendations. So here in Thailand, now I will admit, I'm not going to probably describe this perfectly because I haven't seen a lot of Thai horror movies. But from what I understand, from what I've been told by Thai people, what I've seen in my research, from the little bit of Thai horror movies I have seen, Thai people especially really like kind of the ghost stories. Now, I did learn in my research today, or for this episode, that it's more of a certain type of ghost story. For example, there is one ghost story I'm going to recommend to you, an American movie, which you might still like, because it does have that supernatural, the ghosts, but the style of the ghosts isn't exactly what Thai audiences might like. I think you'd still like the movie. You might not like it as much as an American audience, though. So with Thai audiences, what you're looking for, from my understanding, and again, I could have this a little bit wrong, because I am American. I don't watch a lot of Thai movies. It's the ghost stories, but when it comes to those ghost stories, it's usually like a person who maybe they're possessed, or maybe people don't know they're a ghost because they look human, but there's usually this bad person that it goes through. Whereas, like the ghost movie I'm going to tell you about, there's not really a bad person in there. It's just the ghosts. Now, there is a part 2 of that movie. You might actually like part 2 better, because there is an evil person who they kind of go through. Now that I think about that, I just thought about that while I'm talking to you doing the show. Part 2 of that movie, you might like it actually better than part 1. I kind of do. I think the bad guy's really creepy in part 2. So, it's not just Thai people like ghost movies. They like a certain style of that, with kind of this bad, maybe even possessed person that's in there. Maybe possessed by the ghost, or maybe it is the ghost, the evil spirit. Something like that. Okay? Whereas with American horror movies, we certainly have some of that. But there's more of a focus on real people just being crazy. Just crazy real people. Some crazy guy going out in the woods and killing people. We also have movies that are a lot more gory, a lot more bloody. I don't know why Americans like that, but they do. Some Asians do. Japanese anime, which is really weird because it's in anime form, but Japanese anime can be really bloody and gory. But here in Thailand, I think those horror movies have less blood and gore and that sort of gross stuff. I'm sure there's some. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Thai horror movies. I'm sure there's some. But there's more of that in American horror movies. I don't know why Americans like that, but they do. And I admit I like horror movies, and I do like I do like the bloody ones. I do like the bloody ones sometimes. I admit I do. But we usually like kind of the real people. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the second half. Not too much, because the second half is more going to be used for examples. But I'm going to give you some examples of those type of movies in the second half. And you will see that they're not always really real people. So there is some kind of crossover into that supernatural. But it's more so leaning on real people being evil. And I'll explain to you also in the second half why I think Americans like that better. And why I personally like that better. I do. I admit I like the American horror movie style more than the Thai horror movie style, which is why I haven't watched a lot of the Thai horror movies. And as you're going to find out in the second part of our program, when I recommend these movies to you, I actually needed a little help from AI. Why? Because even though I like horror movies, like I said, this is not my favorite style. I like more of the traditional American horror style, so I have not seen a lot of these movies, so I needed AI's help here. I have seen a few of them, and in fact, one of them I hated. So like I said, I don't, even though it's really popular, and so you might like it, so I'm going to recommend it to you. I hated it. I thought it was dumb. So I have not seen a lot of them. So we're just going to kind of go through it as a list, and then a couple of them I will explain, because I have seen a few of them, and a few of them are really good. But I'm kind of just going to go through the list and give you what the helpful AI generation said that Thai audiences would like. Now, AI is not always correct, so we'll see. Plus, it left out a few. I'd mentioned that one ghost movie. I actually asked AI, so what's wrong with this that Thai people wouldn't like that? Why is that not on your list you gave me? And it did explain kind of the differences in the style of the ghosts. But then I was like, well, what about this movie? This kind of has the bad, evil person that you're looking for. And then it said, oh, yes, Thai people really do like that movie. And I was like, well, why wasn't it on the list? So we'll talk a little bit about some of those movies. But for the most part, I'm just going to give you the list in the second part. Okay? But we will discuss some examples and things like that. All right, so that's what we're going to do in the second part of our program. I will give you some American horror movies that line up a little bit more with what Thai people like. And so they are movies I will recommend that you watch if you like horror movies. Some people don't even like horror movies. But I think movies like comedies, some of them are based on the words, which it's good to understand. That's what we're here, trying to learn English, right? But that can be harder. So unless it's like a Mr. Bean type comedy, comedies are a little harder to recommend. Action movies, yeah, but some of them have so much action they don't even have a lot of language in them, so there's not much to talk about. So I think horror movies are one of the better genres in terms of presenting English. Okay, so I know that's a little weird, right? Horror movies, really? But actually I do. Like I said, I think action doesn't have enough speaking. Comedy, depending on the type of comedy, like if it's a language-related comedy, language jokes, that could be a little hard to understand because a lot of times we have words with double meanings, and it can be a little tricky. All right, so horror movies are one of the best genres you can use for this. So in the second part, like I said, I'm going to give you some good examples. All right, let's take a quick break. Welcome back. All right, so we're talking about horror movies. In the first part, we discussed kind of the differences between American and Thai movies in this genre, how Thai people generally tend to prefer horror movies about the supernatural with ghosts, evil spirits, and usually like a bad person. Maybe they're possessed by that or something like that. They focus on some sort of bad person. So I'm just going to basically list out to you about 12 or 13. I'm going to add one to the end of the list here. About 12 or 13 movies that AI says are good for Thai audiences. Now, I am only going to actually give you a little bit of information on a handful of these because I will admit I haven't even seen all these movies because I tend to prefer more of the American style, which, as I described in the first part, is not the supernatural. It's more real people doing bad things. Okay? Or even animals doing bad things, like the movie Cujo, which I really like. It's about a dog. So it could even be animals doing bad things. Jaws is about a shark. Another really good one, very famous. So the American movie style tends to be different, but we do have a wide range because we have more movies in America. So we have plenty that are about supernatural and would fit the Thai style. So here's a list of those that do. And I will talk a little bit about some of them. But again, some of these I haven't even seen. I got some help from AI to even come up with this list. In fact, there's 3 of these on this list I've actually never even heard of. So, we'll see. Okay, the very first one, this is according to ChatGPT. A couple at the end I've added myself, because I told you in the first part that I did ask ChatGPT about a couple of movies. Why aren't these any good? Why aren't these on the list? Okay, so number 1 is The Conjuring. Surprisingly, I have not seen this, even though, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the kind of supernatural movies. Based on what little bit I know about this movie, this does seem like the type that I would like. I should watch it. I have not. So, even though I haven't seen this one, I will recommend it. Well, I'm going to recommend all of them because this is what AI says is good for Thai people. But like I said, AI isn't always good. And the second one on the list is the one I told you earlier that I hate. So, maybe you won't like it either. AI thinks you will. It is a popular movie. I will admit that. It's popular. I just personally don't like it. I think it's boring and dumb. All right. But that's the second one. First one on the list, The Conjuring. I would recommend that, even though I have not seen it. It looks really good. 2, The Ring. I have seen that one. If you want to watch it, watch it. I am recommending it, I guess, because AI said so. I don't like it. Number 3, interestingly enough, since I said I don't generally like this style of movie, I will tell you, this might be my favorite horror movie of all time. And according to an actual scientific study that they did in England, even though it's an American movie, it is the scariest horror movie of all time. Now, a lot of people that watch it, I like to watch like reactions on YouTube, and because this is my favorite movie, I watch a lot of favorite horror movie. I watch a lot of people react to this movie. A lot of people don't think it's that scary. Some people do, though. But this was a scientific study where they judged it based on people's heart rate, how much their heart rate went up while they watched the movie, and they showed them many different horror movies that are supposed to be scary. This one registered the highest heart rates, and that is the movie Sinister. What I really like about Sinister also is that there's not a lot of blood and gore in it. Well, until You'll disagree with me when you see the last scene of the movie, but generally, there's not a lot of blood and gore. Because they don't show a lot. I mean, the end result of some of the things that happen would produce a lot of blood and gore. I can think about the biggest kind of jump scare in the movie, but they don't show it. It's not a lot of blood and gore. I believe there's not one single bad word in it. So you can actually show this. I wouldn't show it to anyone that's not an adult, but like in my classroom, I could actually show this movie. Some people may not want me to because they may not like it because it's too scary. So I'm not saying I would show it, although I actually have shown it once. But I'm not saying I would show it. I don't like to show a lot of movies in my classroom. But in theory, I could show it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just scary. There's not a lot of blood. There's not a lot of bad words. There's no nudity. There's zero of that, actually. In fact, there's a lot of kids in the movie. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. Watch it. Very good movie. Highly recommend that movie. Sinister. The next movie, I'm shocked that I have not seen it because I've heard very good things about it. I love one of the main actresses in the movie. I have not seen it. I will tell you, I started watching it. I thought it was boring. I turned it off. But maybe I didn't watch it far enough in because it's supposed to be really good. It may just start slow. So I really should sit down and give it a shot again, and I should watch it. And I'm going to recommend it highly, even though I haven't seen it, and that is the movie Hereditary. I can't tell you exactly what it's about. I'm sure it has to do with family. For something to be hereditary means that it's passed down from parents to children. So I'm certain there's got to be something in there about the family. I don't know because I haven't watched it. But I will recommend it to you highly, even though I haven't seen it. Because AI says it's a good style for Thai people. And I do know that most Americans also love that movie. And the actress in it is phenomenal. One of them. Okay, next movie on the list is The Shining. This movie I have watched a lot. This is more of a psychological thriller. That is, there's not a lot of violence. There's not a lot of blood. There's not a lot of killing. There's not a lot of any of that. I'm not telling you there's none. I can think of one scene. It's more psychological. Someone goes crazy. I'm not going to say too much more about it. But the way he goes crazy, you might think, well, what does that have to do? Why would a Thai person like that? The way he goes crazy is supernatural related. And so he ends up being kind of the conduit, the bad person for the supernatural. So that's kind of where the whole Thai style comes in. So that's why AI recommended that. Okay, AI also recommended The Others. I haven't seen it, and it's not American, but it is English language. But it recommended it because it said it's similar to the movie Shudder. I have no idea. I haven't seen it. But I know Shudder is a famous Thai horror movie, so go ahead and check that one out. The Grudge is our next one on the list. I know nothing about that. It's not one of the ones I said that I've never heard of. There are 3 I've never heard of, including the next 2. I have heard of The Grudge. I think it has a pretty good reputation. I think a lot of people like it, but I don't know anything about it. The next 2, I'm just going to give you as a list because I don't know. I have known nothing about them. Never even heard of them. It Follows and Oculus. Have no idea. Next one on the list, Drag Me to Hell. That one's a little bit more crazy with some of the stuff that happens, some of the violence in it. So you may not like it. But in terms of having the crazy bad person, well, I mean, I don't know. She's not really in much of the movie, but yeah, supernatural. She's creepy. Yeah, that's a interesting one. Annabelle, I think that's more about the doll, but I guess it's possessed or something. I don't know. That one I know a lot about, but I've never seen it. So Annabelle is the next one. You might have actually seen that one since that one's fairly recent. The next one is another one that I haven't heard of. I told you I haven't heard of 3 of them. It Follows, haven't heard of that. Oculus, haven't heard of that. Talk to Me is the next one. Haven't heard of that. So then the last 2 on the list are the 2 I asked AI about. One is Poltergeist. I asked about that because it's a ghost movie. One of the most famous ghost movies in American history. So why was that not on AI's list? And AI said it's because it's a different style of ghost. But the Thai audiences still might like it because it still has that supernatural. There is a girl in there, but she's not like evil. She is the conduit, sort of, but she's not evil. So you don't have kind of that bad, evil person there. So AI thinks you might like it. It's just not quite exactly the style of ghost that most Thai people would like. And then the last one I wondered about was The Exorcist. Really old movie. Film quality is pretty good, though, given how old it is. I didn't know if Thai people would like it because it's based on kind of a Christian Catholic culture. But it does have kind of this possession, but it's more possession by the devil, not really a ghost. But you do have possession, evil, and one of the scenes in the movie might be the most disturbing scene ever in cinema history. That movie I cannot show in my class. Ever. So that is The Exorcist. And AI did say that Thai people would like it. Okay, so that's the list. I'll read it down one last time quickly. The Conjuring, The Ring, Sinister, Hereditary, The Shining, The Others, The Grudge, It Follows, Oculus, Drag Me to Hell, Annabelle, Talk to Me, Poltergeist, and The Exorcist. So there's 14 movies. American horror movies. Again, The Others is not American, but it's English. The other 13 are American. So those are American horror movies that you should watch. They kind of fit in more with the Thai style of horror movies. So, again, why have I told you I haven't seen many of these. I haven't seen probably half of these, and I really like horror movies. More than half of them. I've seen The Ring, Sinister, The Shining, Drag Me to Hell I only just recently watched, Poltergeist, and The Exorcist. So I've seen fewer than half of these. Why? It's because I'm more interested in the Western style. I think part of that is because I don't really believe in the supernatural. So to me, I find real people being crazy to be more scary. Because that can happen in real life. There are crazy, murdering people out there. We don't have a lot of them here in Thailand, it doesn't seem like. I mean, occasionally we have some really bad tragedies of crazy people doing bad things. But it happens a lot more in America. So, crazy people out there killing. That's like a real thing in America. So to me, that's more scary. I will say, though, that in some of these cases, it still does weave in some supernatural. I'll give you an example. I'll use probably the 4 biggest horror movie franchises, although the last one, call it a franchise, everyone after the first one was really bad, and it was more remakes than kind of building on the story. So the last one, I don't know if you want to call it a franchise, but it was viewed as kind of groundbreaking for horror movies, and there were many sequels, but more of them were remakes. Some of them were sequels, but there were a lot of remakes. And I'm not going to include Scream in here because that's more of a parody. That's supposed to be funny, even though it does have some scary scenes. That's more parody. I'm also going to leave out Saw because I'm going to talk about things that are more traditional. Now at this point, Saw is becoming more recent, but even that, I think I've only seen 1 or 2 of them, and it's been a long time. But as far as I remember, I think that's also a bad guy doing crazy stuff. I don't think there's any supernatural in that. So that would fit what I'm saying as well. But the point I wanted to make is that there is a little bit of supernatural in some of these. I'm going to use the 4 biggest franchises historically. And again, the 4th one here, you could argue whether it's a franchise. First one, Nightmare on Elm Street. That one probably does have the most supernatural. So again, these aren't totally all completely just bad guy doing crazy stuff. Because in Nightmare on Elm Street, it actually kind of sort of is a ghost, sort of. The bad guy's dead. So I guess he's a ghost, but the way you interact with him, it's a little weird if you haven't. The title kind of tells you a little bit. So Thai people might actually like that. I don't know. Because it kind of is a ghost. Friday the 13th. Jason, well, I don't want to give away too much of the plot. You'll be surprised in part 1 if you haven't seen it. But in the rest of them, you know, I mean, Jason, the main character, he's dead, really. So he's kind of like a zombie or something. So you could consider him a ghost. Michael Myers from Halloween. I mean, the further we get down his storyline, he seems to get more and more supernatural, the stuff that he lives through. It's like he's impossible to kill. Certainly not a ghost. But seems to not be killable. So definitely a little bit of supernatural there with him. The only one that's truly just bad guy doing crazy stuff is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's just, the whole family's bad. It's this crazy family from the South doing bad things. And it's actually loosely based off of a real story. I mean, not really, but sort of. I say not really because the person it's based off kind of a combination of stories. The main one it's based off of is one person. Didn't really go after people with a chainsaw. Didn't live in Texas. It's like this. It's like, how are these two? How is that the inspiration for this movie? But supposedly it is. It's this guy called Ed Gein. But anyway, the point is Ed Gein is a real crazy person who did kill people. A real person. And that's what I think to me is more scary. Because it's something really that could happen. Ed Gein really existed. Crazy people did evil stuff. Bad person, bad things. Real person, really happened. So those are the types of movies that I actually prefer. But as I told you, Sinister is one of my favorite ever. And it's on the list. So go watch those movies. Shining is probably also one of the most well-loved psychological horror movies. Go watch that movie. All right, so that's a list of, I gave you, I believe, 14 there. 14 horror movies that are in English. Almost all of them American. The others, I don't know what that's from. I think it might be British. I'm not sure. Because I haven't seen it. But I know it's not American. But 13 of them are American movies. They're all English. So those are 14 English language horror movies that I would recommend for Thai people because they kind of line up with more traditional Thai horror movies. Okay? So go check those out. And that's about it for today. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of An American in Thailand. Any young people out there who might be listening, please consider our wonderful university here, Ratchamakon University of Technology, Peranakan. If you study English, you might have me as a teacher. And we like to do music and even occasionally movies. We don't do them often. They take up too much of the class time. But as I said, I have shown Sinister to my class one time. Maybe we'll watch that movie in our class. All right, so please stay with us and tune back in next week for another interesting episode. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.